My dad is really into soccer, and I was the first child born, so he would really encourage me to play, which is a good thing. Like, I'm really thankful for that because I really love it now. But then when I was probably, I think like 4 years old, him and his friends, they would play in the park every weekend, or maybe like every 3 or 4 days. And it was a bunch of men, and then he would take me along with him just because like he didn't want me to be bored at home. So I'd usually I would play at the playground nearby, or I'd watch them, and then when the ball would go out, like, because I loved it, I would like just to get a kick in, like I would go run after the ball and I'd kick it back in. And then like a while after that, they would just to encourage me because I was little. They would like hype me up, they'd pretend I was really good, and then sometimes they let me stand in goals, and it just ended up being like, as I grew older, I would step in and play with the men.
Yep.
And I think I was fast as a kid, so or maybe they would just tell me I was fast. But yeah, that was really encouraging for me. And then once I got into school, it just ended up being that like all the girls would play mums and dads and like, pretend we're cooking, this is the kitchen, and I just thought like they were insane. I was like, what's so I wouldn't play. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way.
Yep.
But like at the time, like I just didn't get it. I was like, how's this fun? So I just ended up ditching, and like I'd just go to the oval with the boys. So up until I was really old, like all my friends were boys. I was always playing. Like,
you have 5 brothers.
Yeah, and then I have 5 brothers. So that, I was just much more used to being like, playing rougher with the boys.
Yeah.
I don't really enjoy playing with girls much.
Yeah. And so how does that translate now into your adult life? In terms of, soccer, what are you doing with those skills now?
I think playing with boys, like, that's, when you get a little older, they end up being a bit stronger than you, so you learn to, I don't know, like stand up for yourself, you learn to like push back. So I think for me now, like the biggest thing is self-confidence. Like, I think it's really helped with my self-confidence and like believing in yourself and not letting people push you around.
And why am I calling you Coach Anar? What's that about?
Well, for me, coaching has been like, I don't know, it just came so naturally like in life. The first experience I had with coaching was at the club I played, where I played soccer. They needed a coach for the under-7s. My brother was playing in that team, and they asked me. At first I said, no, there's no way I'm doing it, I don't know how to coach. But then they really needed someone, so I was like, okay, like I'll do it until you find someone else. And then I just ended up being the permanent coach for 2 years.
Funny, that.
Yeah, but like, I don't regret it. Like, I'm glad that happened because I learned a lot. Like, you learn more from the kids than they learn from you, I think.
Yep.
And then after that, I had a soccer team, like just a social soccer team. We would play in like tournaments and things, and we went and played at the MFC with Brendan and Janelle at the Multicultural Sports Club. And then I don't really know how, I can't remember how it happened, but I ended up being a coach there as well.
Are you still coaching?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your job?
Yeah.
Okay. Is she a good coach?
She is.
And so you can see Coach Anar on YouTube. Because why can we see you on YouTube? How did that come about?
So we're doing some work with Hayano and Logan together. We just like ever since the COVID-19 like the outbreak, we've been putting just some YouTube videos out to help kids do things in their own home because they can't get out at the moment. So there's always things you can do at home.
Absolutely. And did you do a lot at home as a child, like?
Oh, of course,
active?
yeah. Growing up with like brothers, you can imagine. We lived next door to, I still don't know what it was, but there was some sort of business next door, and there was a big empty car park, and then they had like a big barbed wire fence. And I don't know, like back in those days, there was a lot of shopping trolleys on the side of the streets. So we'd grab like, and the car park was like a big slope, so we'd like put each other in the shopping trolleys and we'd just run over we'd slam into the fence. And then like Auntie Faith was saying, we had marbles, so we'd play a lot of marbles, and then like whenever we were fighting with each other, the way we would get back at each other is we'd get like them, because we all had our own set of marbles, we'd get their marbles and chuck chuck a whole bag over the barbed wire fence. So like on the weekends when there was no one there, we'd have to climb. Like I remember like having scratches all down my arms because I'd have to climb through the barbed wire fence to go and grab my marbles because I love them that much. Yeah, just things like that. And I remember like a lot of falling out of trees. Like I broke my nose. I fell
Not
out
at soccer.
No, that was like me fighting for my bike because all the kids in our street would, like, I think there's probably maybe 20, 30 kids. All the kids in the street somehow just would come out. Like, they all knew when we would play together, and then sometimes, you know, you'd steal each other's bikes, or and like I said, you just have to learn to. You know, if they weren't going to give it back the nice way, you'd have to like. So, that's how I broke my nose, and then I remember like climbing trees. I fell out of a tree once, and I broke my shoulder, but I didn't know it was broken for about 3 days, and the pain just wouldn't go away. So then I went to the hospital, and they said, yeah, it's broken. I think there was like 3 broken bones, like in my back of my shoulder. So that was fun. That happened on the first day of the school holidays, and then my arm was slinged up.
For the whole school holidays.
Yeah.
Okay.
Things like
Has
that.
anybody got any questions for Anar about her childhood and what she's doing now? No? Well, look, what I'm witnessing is an absolute joy and delight in Anar's face as she's remembering these stories, and a deep childhood of being really active. So as much as you were active with a soccer ball, you were probably just as active through play as well. So play leads to a tremendous amount of physical activity, which is incidental. That sounds like a wonderful childhood. Thank you very much.